Hey everyone, welcome to the Divorce Dispatcher, where we dive into the wildest, most unbelievable stories of divorce, breakups, and family drama. Stories that'll leave you speechless. Today we have the story of Darius.
Darius, husband 37. Anong, wife 26. I'll say the quiet part out loud. I went to Thailand to find a wife on purpose. Not for a spiritual awakening, not for a sabbatical. I went because I was done with what I called modern dating in the States. Apps ghosting, debates about who pays. Women asking how I hold space when I'd rather hold a wrench and get back to work. I'm an HVAC contractor. I hustle. I'm not a poet. And for a long time I felt invisible, like I was everyone's maybe, while they held out for a unicorn. Then the videos started showing up in my feed. Passport guys talking about feminine women, simple lives, respect. Fly out and choose better, they said. Women overseas still value men. It hit a nerve I didn't know I had. I wanted to be wanted. I wanted to be appreciated for showing up with steady hands and paid bills. So I booked the flight. Bangkok was neon and perfume and sir everywhere I went. I tipped like a baller, wore a watch I couldn't really afford, and told myself I was finally being seen. On day 5, in a night market that smelled like lemongrass and grilled fish, I met Anong, 26. She worked mornings at her aunt's noodle stall and evenings running Instagram for a small boutique. She laughed easy, asked thoughtful questions, and noticed things, like how I tap my thumb when I'm thinking. Her English? Smooth in conversation. She could joke, tell stories, catch the rhythm. But she told me she wanted formal classes to build her reading and writing contracts, banking, college level work, because conversational English doesn't get you hard where you deserve. We walked the market until the lights blurred. We talked about family. Hers was small mother and grandmother in Nakhon Sawan, and she sent money when she could. I told her I ran an HVAC company, true, but company was me. 3 subs on speed dial, and a van with a temper. She had a 1-room apartment that smelled like jasmine soap. We sat on the edge of her bed the second week, hands shaking a little, and I told her I loved her. Maybe I believed it for those seconds. Truth is, it was lust wearing a love costume. We made love that night. Clumsy and sweet. She trusted me more than I deserved, and I took that trust like a trophy. Before I flew back, I told her, come visit the States. If we're good, I'll bring you over for real. She put her forehead to mine and whispered, we're good. I took that as a promise. Maybe she meant hope. Divorce dispatcher. Be honest, is it wrong to want a grateful wife who respects leadership? Isn't that closer to how our grandparents did it?
The Divorce Dispatcher is here. You rang? Wanting respect isn't wrong. But when respect secretly means obey and leadership means control, it starts to look like coercion. Courts won't grade your dating philosophy, but they will scrutinize conduct, money control, immigration leverage, isolating a partner, and interference with education or work. The issue isn't tradition, it's power.
I promised English classes, the formal ones for reading, writing, and professional life. I promised I'd support a work permit so she could earn and contribute. I promised $200 monthly to help her mom and grandmother. It felt good to say. It made me feel like a provider, a protector, a man. 9 months later, Anong landed at BWI in a cream sweater and spotless white sneakers she said she saved for special. I showed up with flowers and a sign like a movie. We married at the courthouse the next week, my cousin and his girl, as witnesses, crabs after. She laughed at the mess, taking pictures of bibs and claws. We were a story I wanted to post. Home wasn't the high-rise in my feed. It was a decent 1-bedroom I staged the week before, with new bedding, a rented coffee table, an LED strip behind the TV. I told her the bigger place was under renovation. She nodded, and for a second I saw doubt flicker. I changed the subject. Month 1, glow. She cooks rice, sets out fruit, FaceTimes her mother each night, asks about ESL registration and sending a little money home. I say, absolutely right after this first spring install rush. Don't worry. Month 2, promises out loud. On a WhatsApp video call with her mum and grandmother, I smile and say, I'll take care of her and you. English classes 2, Anong's eyes get glassy with relief. Later that week, I hear her in the bedroom after another call, crying softly. I stand outside the door, fist in my pocket, and tell myself she'll adjust. Month 3, friction. Money is tight. My van needs a transmission, and a commercial bid I counted on goes to a bigger company. When she asks to send $200, I say, next month. She's quiet, then says,
Okay,
that night I hear her tell her mother.
I'm trying.
I tell myself she should be grateful. Roof, food, paperwork, emotion, me. Month 4, controlling soft packaging. She brings up ESL again. I tell her, you speak fine. Your English is better than my cousin's. We'll do the class after the next job. She says calmly.
I want a class for reading and writing. For me,
I toss the flyer on the counter, cover it with the mail, and ask what's for dinner. Month 5, pregnancy pressure. I say, let's bring a baby into this. Family will make you feel settled. She says,
not yet. I need a job, friends, classes. I want to know this place.
I hear rejection when she's offering a timeline. That night during sex, she asks for a condom. I grab one, it breaks, or my pullout is late. Call it passion. But the truth is I wanted to decide for both of us. She goes still afterward. In the morning, she eats slowly, sweatshirt sleeves pulled over her hands. I tell myself I'm just eager for our family. She feels what I won't name. Violated by intention, even without shouting. Month 6, isolation. She meets 2 women at the international grocery and starts texting with them. I get prickly. Be careful who you talk to, I say. People love getting in your business, she says.
Friends are not a threat.
I say, they are if they fill your head. She stops telling me where she goes. Month 7, paperwork as leash. I suggest we pause her work authorization until our foundation is stable. She says,
It's my life.
I reply, I'm the sponsor. We go at my pace. She looks at me like the lake in a picture, calm on top, deep underneath. That night I hear her whisper into the phone. He keeps changing the timeline. Month 8, money again. Her mum's blood pressure medication is low. She asks for $120. I say, I can't. Not this month. 2 days later, I see a Western Union receipt. She found a way, asked a friend to help, used my card while paying for groceries. You use my money? I ask, tight and quiet.
You used my promises.
She answers. I stomp around the apartment, loudly doing dishes that are already clean. Month 9, exit plan. She tidies the house like a real estate showing. When I'm at work, she visits the community center, whose flyer I hid ESL, job coaching, immigration resources. She makes copies of her documents when I'm in the shower. She asks again gently.
When, Darius?
I say, soon. She answers.
You always say soon like it feeds people.
I roll my eyes and tell her, you're here, aren't you? Americans would kill for what you have. She responds,
What I have is a husband who thinks gratitude is a leash.
divorce dispatcher. I never hit her. I never screamed. I paid rent. How do people throw around words like abuse when I was doing my best?
The divorce dispatcher is here. You rang? Best isn't the legal standard. Courts look at behavior, withholding funds, blocking education, threatening to stall immigration, reproductive pressure. These can form a pattern of coercive control. It's not about the absence of bruises. It's about the presence of power used to box someone in. Judges and immigration officers are trained to spot it.
It wasn't a slammed door. It was a precise morning. A woman from the community center came with her.
We're here to collect Anong's documents.
she said. Passport, visa copies, marriage certificate. I tried to puff up. She's my wife. You can't,
We can wait in the hall while she gathers her things.
the woman said. She looked past my posture and saw the fear. Anong's voice was steady.
I need my papers, Darius. I'm leaving. I'm not doing this with you not following your word anymore.
I stood in the kitchen with my hands on the counter, staring at the warm patch where I set my keys every day, like it owed me advice. After a long minute, I handed her the folder. My stomach felt like I had just climbed off a roof in summer heat. They left with 2 tote bags and a folder full of the strings I thought tied her to me. The apartment was suddenly too quiet, like sound was off in a movie. That evening, an email arrived from my law office. Notice to exchange financial information. Temporary support. Affidavit of support obligations in bold. Paper promises speaking louder than my mouth ever did. I had signed something I thought was leverage. It turned out to be a legal duty with teeth. I texted, "After everything I did?" She replied,
Everything you did was for you to get me here, but then not do everything you promised.
"It wasn't rage that broke me, it was the sentence. Divorce dispatcher. If she walks out, shouldn't that cancel what I owe? She left me, why am I still on the hook?"
The divorce dispatcher is here. You rang? Some sponsorship obligations are contractual with the federal government, separate from marital status. Divorce doesn't necessarily erase them. Courts can order temporary support while cases proceed. It's not punishment. It's enforcement of commitments you signed. Always get legal counsel before assuming rights and responsibilities begin or end on your own terms.
The watch went first, then the bike. Then I used the rental van for jobs until I could fix mine, bleeding money by the mile. I cut streaming services, stopped posting. My cousin said,
You got played.
I wanted to agree, but later he texted,
You did promise her family, bro. And you did say pause on her life.
I stared at that message like it was a verdict. The guys in my passport forums told me to hold frame, replace and repeat. For the first time, their confidence sounded like a sales pitch I'd already returned. Weeks passed. A photo of Anong popped up. She is working at a bakery near the community centre. Hair back, smiling at a customer with powdered sugar on her knuckles. The caption read, "Proud of our newest hire, the class schedule pinned." I felt something bitter, then something else I'm not proud of. Anger at her joy, like it was stolen from me instead of earned by her. I took a walk instead of typing anything I'd regret. The hearing was not TV, no speeches, no dramatic gasps, numbers, dates, who held what. A lawyer asked if I'd interfered with her classes. I said no. She produced flyers with my later notes in the margins. A lawyer asked if I'd threatened to slow her immigration paperwork. I said, I wanted us to be stable. The judge asked,
Did you leverage filing to secure behavior?
I stared at the wood grain in front of me and said, I said we should wait. Temporary orders, deadlines, a next date. In the elevator, I looked at myself in the mirrored still and saw a man who still wanted to be the hero in a story he didn't read carefully. A month later, my phone buzzed. Her name lit up. I almost didn't answer.
I wanted you to hear this from me.
She said,
I'm okay. I'm in ESL level 3 now, reading and writing. I got a raise at the bakery. I'm sending money home. I don't hate you.
Okay, I said, because I didn't have a better word.
You wanted me to be grateful.
She continued.
I would have been if you had let me be a person.
The line stayed quiet long enough for me to hear my own breath. Good night, Anong, I whispered.
Good night.
She said. No anger, no invitation. 9 months after she left, we settled. The orders didn't crown a winner. They made a map. A measured, boring map that keeps cars from driving into each other. On my way out, we reached the elevator at the same time. We stood like acquaintances who once shared a secret language.
I am not angry anymore.
She said.
I just needed my life back.
I thought I was helping, I said.
You were helping your story.
She answered with that softness that used to make me feel 10 feet tall.
Now help yourself.
The elevator opened. She stepped in and pressed the button without looking back. I let the doors close and took the stairs. Divorce dispatcher, tell me straight. Am I the bad guy? Or just a man who tried and failed? Because I still feel like I'm the only one who sees it from my side.
The divorce dispatcher is here. You rang? You're not a caricature. You're a person whose choices concentrated power in your hands and removed it from hers. That has legal consequences and human ones. The question that matters now isn't, am I the villain? It's, do I keep choosing control, or do I learn partnership? Courts draw lines. Growth redraws the person who stands behind them.
No new romance arc, no victory lap, just smaller proofs I'm building instead of performing. I read what I signed now. I reopened a trade manual and finally took the OSHA course I kept dodging. I switched my watch list from dudes yelling in cars to videos on small business bookkeeping and trauma-informed relationships. I fixed my van with cash, not a credit card flex. I showed up at the community centre on a Saturday to replace a thermostat for a senior and didn't take a photo. I still want to be admired. I'm just trying to want being accountable more. Some nights I make the quick noodles Anong showed me, lime, chili, fish sauce, and send my mother a picture. She replies with a heart and drink water. Life is smaller and steadier. When I feel the ache to be king, I ask myself what throne I'm chasing and why. I hope Anong finishes her classes. I hope her mother's pressure stays controlled. I hope the next man she meets listens the first time she says she needs her own bank card. If a man like me is listening right now, feeling overlooked at home and overpraised abroad, before you book the next flight, do this math. The admiration you fly to get runs out when promises don't turn into plans. The gratitude you demand becomes a resentment when it's used as a leash. The paper you hold can become your leash too. Ask me about the day the email arrived. If you still go to build with, not to build over. Divorce dispatcher. Last question. If I really want a partner now, not a project, where do I even start?
The divorce dispatcher is here. You rang? Start where control ends. Share power on paper, you joint accounts and individual accounts. Encourage education you don't supervise. Put timelines in writing and meet them. If you want a family, talk timing and consent like adults know accidents. If you sponsor someone's immigration, treat it as a promise, not leverage. And get counsel before you act, not after. Flights are cheap. Consequences aren't. The law can't make you loving, but it can nudge you toward fairness. The rest is your work. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Your support means a lot, and we love hearing from you in the comments. Divorce Dispatch is signing off duty. Until next time, take care.